Thanks for watching my talk. Switch your internal platform to multiplayer mode. The idea for this talk came from talking to many organizations who are trying to increase the value and effectiveness of their internal platforms whilst avoiding having to massively expand the size of their platform teams. I'm going to share how my team at Syntasso think about solving this challenge and where we've seen organizations be successful in achieving this. A quick introduction. I'm Paula Kennedy, co-founder of Syntasso, and we are the makers of Cratix, which is an open source platform building framework. In my spare time, I organise several community conferences, including PlatformCon London Live. I also run the London Platform User Group, or LOPUG. And if that isn't enough, I'm a Team Topologies advocate, as well as an ambassador for Open UK. Now, to understand the pain that many organisations are facing when it comes to their internal platform, it's probably worth a very quick history lesson to understand how we got to where we are today. Once upon a time, there were developers and operators, and they were siloed. Devs were frequently waiting on ops to provide services or tools for them, which led to friction and delays. We introduced DevOps back in 2009-2010 as a way to reduce these silos and empower teams to be able to build and run everything for themselves. This worked pretty well, but as companies scaled, we saw a lot of duplication and waste as each DevOps team was having to solve the same problems and manage the same tooling and services over and over again. And in addition, we saw the amount of work that those DevOps teams had to do kept increasing. DevOps teams were having to figure out how to use more and more tools and offer more services, from infrastructure and networking to CI/CD, observability, and everything else. The sheer complexity of building and running everything led to massive cognitive load on these teams. And aside from the complexity of managing more and more tools, the DevOps teams were faced with navigating internal processes and concerns, such as security and compliance challenges. Apologies to anyone in those teams for using creepers and ghosts. That was just for dramatic effect. Now, to solve these challenges, we've seen the emergence of platform engineering. One of the goals of platform engineering is to provide a better developer experience by reducing cognitive load on developers and enabling them to focus on their core goal, which is delivering value to their customers. One way that platform teams do this is by providing an internal platform that is customized for the internal developer needs and offers the tooling and services on demand so that developers can build and run their applications. But a common pattern that has resulted from this shift is that platform teams themselves are being asked to provide an ever-increasing set of tools and services for the developers to use. The cognitive load that I described earlier has not gone away. It has just been shifted onto platform teams. And it's not just that they have a vast array of tools that need to be offered. There is also pressure to make sure that the internal platform offers a lovely, delightful experience for developers. We hear a lot of talk about how important developer experience is and important to make sure that developers have flow when they're building their software, which all leads me back to the question: how can I get more value from my internal platform without having to have hundreds of people in that platform team? One way to answer this is to consider how our teams are organized and ask ourselves the question, who should do what? My favorite answer to this question is to refer to the book Team Topologies, which was written in 2019 by Matthew Skelton and Manuel Pace. In Team Topologies, they refer to 4 team types: stream-aligned teams, or you can think of these as application teams, enabling teams, complicated subsystem teams, and platform teams. We've seen the problem I've described so far, where we've had the stream-aligned teams having too much cognitive load and having to do too much themselves. And with platform engineering, we've seen some of that work shift onto platform teams who themselves have too much to do. So how can we look to share load and involve other teams in our internal platform building work so that that work is distributed and the cognitive load is more evenly distributed? This is where the value of a multiplayer approach and a multiplayer platform comes in. Let's take 2 specific examples where other teams can inject their special skills and knowledge that could benefit the whole organization into the platform, but without having to put that load onto other teams. Firstly, let's consider the need for multiple application teams to have access to a database. Let's take Postgres as an example. In an ideal world, teams would have access to Postgres on demand as a service, so they can provision one whenever they need it. You might have a specialist database team within your organization that knows exactly how Postgres works, how it should be configured for your specific organization, and how those stream-aligned teams should consume it. Instead of trying to pass this knowledge onto the platform team or onto the stream-aligned team, this subsystem team that is made up of subject matter experts should be able to offer this database as a service within the platform so that it is easy for the application teams to request when they need it, and also easy for the platform team to have it as a building block within their platform, to package it up when they need to package it with other services, but without that platform team having to know everything about Postgres. Secondly, let's consider, instead of a specialist tool, how about a special requirement such as security? You're likely to have specific security processes that need to be built into your software delivery workflows, but you may not have enough subject matter experts in security to go around. You might not have enough people to embed in each application team and in your platform teams. Instead, with a multiplayer approach, you should be aiming to enable your security teams to define the processes and embed these within your internal platform so that neither the application teams nor the platform team have to deeply understand all of the steps. They are able to just follow these steps and guardrails as they are built into the workflows contained within the platform. Overall, you are therefore able to reduce the cognitive load for each team by being able to incorporate multiple skills and knowledge into your platform in an easy to consume way. We've seen this approach be very successful within some of our own customers. It's sometimes called inner sourcing or platform democratization. The key factor is being able to make the most of the talents and skills and knowledge that you have within your organization without trying to build one massive team or take a small team and try to give them an overwhelming amount of knowledge. Which leads to the last part of my talk, which is around how to get started with this multiplayer approach. As platform engineering is considered a socio-technical practice involving both people as well as technology, it is worth considering both when we try to consider how people get aligned as well as what we need from our technology. Again, it's useful to consider the interaction modes which are described within team topologies. In the book, there are 3 specific interaction modes which are described: collaboration, X as a service, and facilitating. In order to understand what a multiplayer internal platform could look like, teams should focus on collaboration to begin with so that they can understand each other, build up empathy, and become aligned. Collaboration is the best interaction type to understand requirements such as what the application team or stream-aligned teams need, how would they like to consume the platform, and you might consider that some of those application teams might also have tools and services that they have developed that they want to contribute back into the platform. The platform team should also collaborate with the other teams that we've described, with those specialists who are providing specific tools and services. This helps build understanding again around what those services are and how they can be produced and contributed into the platform, as well as what those teams themselves need to consume from other teams. To facilitate this work, you might consider creating a short-lived enabling team who can focus on facilitation, working across the organization to map who should be collaborating and understand the different connections across your business. Platform teams should collaborate with all the other team types, but with a common goal. The goal should be to make it easy for platform teams, make it easy for teams to contribute their expertise into the platform. This is really where we see the multiplayer aspect. And the end goal is that collaboration leads to these tools and services being delivered as a service in that X as a service mode. In this example, we see that the Postgres database is being offered as a service within the platform, and it has the security expertise contributed by that security team built into the platform. The consumers of the platform, those application teams, are now interacting with the platform in the X as a service mode, which means they're getting the tool that they need on demand when they need it, and with that enhanced security embedded. So that covers some of the socio aspects. But what about the technical? A platform team needs to consider how easy it is for other teams to contribute to their platform. Is it just a big black box that no one understands? Or is it easy for other teams to contribute? What is that process for contributing? And not only as a one off upfront interaction, but in an ongoing way to ensure that the platform remains up to date and fit for purpose. Is that process documented? Is it understood? This is one of the areas where a platform framework such as Gratix can support this multiplayer model. If your platform is made up of composable building blocks that are contributed and maintained by expert teams, this further empowers the platform team to use these building blocks to compose paved roads or golden paths, which can then be consumed by the application teams and give them an even easier developer experience. Your platform team could also add a lovely portal to the platform to further enhance that developer experience. Suddenly, your internal platform is benefiting from the skills and expertise across all of your organization. And this ends up with our platform being greater than the sum of its parts and becomes a driver for innovation. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this short summary of multiplayer approach. Key takeaways. Platform engineering should reduce cognitive load for developers, but it does not need to be a single player game. We should consider how we can switch to multiplayer mode by sharing our teams and our expertise into our platform. And finally, platform engineering is a socio-technical practice. So consider how to interact with people across the organization, making it easy to collaborate and with a goal to move towards X as a service, as well as considering your technical solutions within your organization to smooth friction and make this process possible. I'd like to thank SlideChef for the wonderful Minecraft-based slide template, and thank you to my lovely 2 children who taught me how to play Minecraft, even though they tell me how bad I am at it. If you're interested in learning more about this approach and how Aquatics enables multiplayer mode out of the box, please check out our website. You can contact us via email or feel free to reach out to me directly on Slack or connect on LinkedIn. Thank you.